Hello and welcome back to Ramblings of a Mad Guy. It's me, Reese, I'm the Mad Guy. And today we're going to be taking a look, we're going to be diving deep into the Panderverse. For a guy like me, I already think Joe Biden is, relatable, cool. I think he's very down with the black community. That's just how I think he would say it. Man, I'm down. Man, I'm down. Come on, man. Don't you know I'm down? But in case you didn't know, in case you were unaware, he's released Biden's dropped a new vid. Let's see how many views this has. Let's see how many views a video by the President of the United States has on YouTube. 35,000 after 9 days. Keep in mind, this is supposedly the most powerful man in the world. He has 35,000 views in 9 days. Forget Mr. Beast. Like, obviously someone like Mr. Beast gets fucking, 100 million views within 9 days. But that makes sense. He's the biggest YouTuber in the world, so he's going to get a lot more. But, like, random-ass OnlyFans girls can drop a fucking podcast, and then that will get twice the number of views as this 8-minute video by the president, the leader of the free world. Like, does this guy stand a chance? Is it possible for him to win? If Donald Trump dropped a video like this, millions of views within a minute. Actually, let me look up. This is a 2-minute video posted a month ago, which has over 10 times, actually over 20 times the number of views. That's a month long. I bet most of those views came in the first 9 days. I'm not saying YouTube views fucking equates to goddamn winning an election, obviously. It's more about like who can suck the right little penises that work in big pharma and big tech and all these things. But it doesn't help. Like, the fewer people you have on your side, probably the more corruption you have to engage in order to win. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited. I'm voting for RFK Jr. This is an official endorsement. Maybe I'll make a whole video about it when it comes closer. I think if you have any sort of like functioning brain cells, and you're below the age of like 65, like you're not going to die within the next 10 years, it makes sense to vote for RFK. In fact, it's probably the only person that makes sense. My grandfather's not thrilled about this, but I told him I'd rather vote for nobody if RFK doesn't make it onto the ballot. And I really feel that. I feel strongly about that. So anyway, official endorsement out of the way. Let's get into the Panderverse and see what Biden's up to that only garnered him 35,000. There are 300 million people that live in this country that he is the king of. He's like the feudal lord of his country of 300 million people, and less than 1% of them. Is that right? No, just about 1% of them have watched this video.
Unique day, very special day.
Dude, we about to eat dinner with Joe Biden. That's fire, like, the president's coming.
Yeah, no, that is sick. Like, let me be clear. That is fucking dope. Also, this guy, caked up. That is a fucking cake right there. He wore his sexy pants for the president. Okay. It is sick to meet the president. No matter who it is. Donald Trump, Joe Biden, fucking Jimmy Carter, if he's 92 years old, if he's still alive. Whoever it is, like, I don't, no shade to this family, to these kids, anybody for being excited to meet Joe Biden. That's fucking dope. I would want to meet him. I would go and meet him and have dinner with him if I were a black family that he could pander to. So that's not really the point of this. It's not to shit on these people. It's more to point out, like, the weirdness of this campaign, really. It's like we don't hear the guy talk for fucking essentially 4 years. I don't know if I heard a single speech that, like, sort of had any point that wasn't just, like, a reaction against, like, so, what are you going to do about the Israel-Palestine conflict? Oh, come on, man. I don't know. Come on, man. You really asking questions like that? Come on. Come on, man. That's all I heard for about 4 years. And so this is the first time, like, looking at something that he's actually producing and putting out. Him, obviously, but, you know, his fucking campaign, whatever.
You want to share? Go over this side and show President Biden one of your favorite pictures on the wall.
Well, one of my favorites is
Some of these pictures are just taped to the wall. Like, do you think they put all these up the night before? Or even worse yet, like Biden's campaign manager's like, okay, we're going to need you to post, we're going to need you to print out every picture you have and put them, like, tape them up on one single wall. So the American people really get a vibe of what this beautiful black family is about. That's sort of the vibe this is giving. There's nothing on these walls other than this, like, collage. But hey, if that's really them, I'm not shitting on that. That's cool. I think it's great to have family photos. Seem very happy, you know, loving family. Let's see how Biden reacts. Let's see if he even understands what's happening. He's like, what's going on here, man? How did all these other people get in here? I thought this was just going to be the three of us. What are all these black folk doing here?
this one right here. Well, we were in Jamaica.
That's cool. Oh man, you got chicken fingers.
That's cool.
So tell me about you guys. What you doing these days?
Why don't you share about your passion of sports?
I'm playing.
Yeah, what if the kid was like, but Dad, we went over all this like 2 minutes ago. Did he forget? Like, it'd be funny if they had this whole dinner and then, like, they explain their whole vibe and their whole thing, and then at the end of the dinner, Biden's like, so tell me about you guys. What are you guys up to?
You're interested in something I got involved in, mental health.
Yeah.
Tell me how
That was very sneaky, by the way. Okay, so so what just happened there, if you weren't paying attention? Biden begins to say a sentence, and then he goes, I think, didn't you... We'll watch it again so that you know. But he goes, now, didn't you say you were involved in... And then it cuts away to some random family photo, and then it cuts back to Biden basically finishing his thought. So what you know happened there is they had to cut out like a long period of time of him being like, what was that? What was that fucking point that they wrote down for me? Cindy, what was that? What was that thing he was interested in that you emailed me that he's not really interested in, but it sounds good for the people? What was that thing? Oh, yeah, mental health. And then that's right where they cut back in, you know? Also, what kind of fucking kid is interested in mental health? Even if he has mental health problems or something, we'll figure it out. We'll find out. This seems very scripted and very curated to me, but anyway.
Like, what inspired you to become the president of the U.S.?
Well, lots of money and power, and basically people pushed me into it from the beginning of my life because I'm a legacy politician, and I got to basically put 1 million black people in jail, which was fucking fun in the 90s. Didn't turn out so well for my campaign now, but it's alright because nobody talks about it. But yeah, being the president fucking rocks. It was easy as fuck. This entire apparatus of the state called the DNC and the RNC, they put me in power. It's fucking great. I don't know. Well, do you want to be president someday, little Billy? I mean, what inspired you to be president? Good question by the kid. The answer is not going to be the truth. I guarantee you. He's going to say some shit. He's going to be like, well, my dad said that I could do anything as long as I voted Democrat. As long as I didn't believe a word that Donald Trump said, I could do anything. And that's why I'm president today. That's what we're about to hear. The truth is going to be very different.
Well, my mom and dad thought you had an obligation. Not you didn't have to run for office, but you had an obligation to change things that you saw that you thought was unfair.
And the thing that I saw was there were just so many black people not getting put in prison for using marijuana. I saw that, and I thought, come on, man. Let's get all those guys in jail. Come on, man, we got to do something about this. That's what he just said. I have a responsibility to change the world for the better by putting all the black people in jail with the 1994 crime bill. Look it up. If you don't believe me, I'm not going to get into it, but maybe I can if you want. If all the comments are like, what the fuck are you talking about? Then I'll educate you. But I don't think I should have to because it's pretty fucking out there. You can just Google it.
As I'm raising two young men, and you had the pleasure of raising two young men, what advice would you give me to keep in my mind as I'm raising these?
Is he asking Joe Biden for parenting advice? I'm not even going to get into the tragedy of the older kid, but I mean, you have a pretty decent example of one way in which he majorly fucked up. Like, you're going to take... Here's my advice for you, man. I got some advice for you. Basically, so your son, he's going to want to do a lot of crack. And he's going to want to have a lot of prostitutes. And you just got to ignore that. You just gotta ignore that and sort of sweep it under the rug because you got bigger fish to fry, man. So when your son's out there doing crack and having sex with prostitutes and hurting people and having creepy conversations with your little cousin, you just gotta ignore that, man. One day the CIA might find a laptop in your son's room. One day they might find a laptop and it's gonna have a lot of fucked up shit on there. A lot of borderline Jeffrey Epstein type fucking shit. And what you gotta do is you just gotta send him to the Ukraine. You gotta send him to the Ukraine and get him paid $10 million a year. Come on, man. That's easy. That's parenting 101. Just basically, if your son's a sex addict, crack addict, just give him a job as a CEO of a Ukrainian fucking military company. That's my parenting advice. Are you really asking this guy, possibly the most famous, like, absentee father right now? The person who's, I'll say this, not the most famous absentee father. The person whose child is the most famously fucked up. You're asking him for parenting advice? Or did the campaign manager give you a little note card of the questions that you should ask and that you have to ask? That's just funny because you don't see what's happening in between these cuts. Like, you don't see how long. This is an 8-minute video that probably took like 53 minutes. All their food is cold because they just have to keep re-asking the questions and shit. God damn it.
Boys here.
Well, for me, it was just hold to certain basic rules. One of them is, be honest. And two, you're going to make mistakes. But just get back up.
It's funny, like, the way, like, Biden's like, you're going to fuck up sometimes. Come on, man, you're going to fuck up sometimes. But that's okay. You just get back up. You just get back up. But, like, for these kids, fucking up is going to be, like, not getting into their first choice college, right? If they don't. Or, like, they missed the big shot in the basketball game. But then for Joe Biden, like, his form of fucking up is like, I was too busy hanging out in the Ukraine to notice that my son was smoking crack and fucking prostitute. It's like different level. It's different levels. Okay.
You was just how to be. That's the experience of a lifetime.
Lunch with the president.
Lunch with the president? All right, let's go.
We back inside?
All right. I mean, it's cute. It's a cute family. It's a cute video. Whatever, but it's all fake. Like, none of it was real at all. Like, so manufactured. The part that's actually crazy is that it only has 35,000 views. Like, you would think if the president of the United States took a shit, it would get more than like 100,000 views at least. But people just don't seem to give a fuck. I think even on the face of it, they know that it's pandering bullshit that isn't real, which is why I'm calling it out now. But I don't think people are putting up with it anymore. 35,000 views after 9 days, posted by the official channel of Joe Biden. I'm not saying that I'm doing better, obviously, but I'm not the most powerful man in the world. Really, whoever owns him is the most powerful man in the world, but, like, I'm not even the purported most powerful man in the world. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking weird. Something weird is going on. And we all just have to vote for Robert F. Kennedy Jr. That's what we have to do. I don't give a fuck if he doesn't believe in the vaccines. That's over. That's over. Take the vaccine, don't take the vaccine. We're done with that. Let's move into what is going to be good for the country, right? What's going to be realistic, fucking possible. And what's not possible is to have 80-year-old Donald Trump or 80-year-old Joe Biden pretending to care about us. RFK doesn't even pretend to care about us. Like, I think maybe he does, but he doesn't really pretend to care. He just genuinely hates a lot of the fucking shit that's going on. So look into that. Maybe I'll make a video about it at some point. Much love, much peace. Not trying to get you worked up. I'm not trying to get worked up myself. But someone had to fucking look at this thing, this gross video of Biden pandering to black Americans, pretending that he didn't put all of them in jail in the 90s. He's so heavily involved in that crime, the 1994 crime bill, which single-handedly put like literally a million black guys in jail for smoking weed, which is completely legal now, and a lot of them are still in jail. Like, let's remember that before we start going, oh wow, Biden loves black people. Oh my god, he had dinner with a black family. He must really love black people. But maybe these concerns are completely misplaced because nobody even watched the fucking video. Nobody even watched it. So, anyway, much peace. Take a deep breath. Take a fucking deep breath. Much love. I'm out.